This is going to be a busy night for me because not only the fact that I have to do the review of this game, I have to do the preview of 12 games that's going to be happening during this weekend between Thursday and Sunday as the MLS regular season is started to resume after it's been delayed for 5 months because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, in terms of this game, yeah, let's just say that this was probably one of the most one-sided MLS games that I have ever watched, as Toronto FC absolutely steamrolled the Vancouver Whitecaps in this game by winning 3-0. And I guess the Whitecaps was trying to do the same tactics they did in the MLS's back tournament, which is just kind of sit deep and hope that they can get a lucky counter-attack that they can, of course, score a goal in this one. And while it kind of was a little bit effective during the MLS's back tournament, it was not effective whatsoever in this game. Now, Josie Altidore actually got the start in this game while there was no Akinola in the starting lineup for TFC. Obviously, Akinola is still recovering from that injury that he suffered during the MLS's back tournament. So Josie Altidore, unfortunately, will have to start in this game, and I have a feeling in the next game, most likely he probably will not get the start from Greg Vanney, because I thought for a majority of this game, he looked like he was just completely out of shape. Like, there was just times where he was just jogging on the attacking end, and when you have your striker do that and be that lazy, either he is not committed to stay with the team, or the fact that he is just completely out of shape and out of fitness. And it just seemed like that was the case for Josie Altidore in this game. And that, again, I have a feeling Greg Vanney probably will relegate him again to substitute duty because he was very ineffective throughout this game. Now, Cavallini, of course, were back in the starting 11 while Thomas Hasel remained as the starting goalkeeper for the Vancouver Whitecaps, which was one of the few decisions that the Vancouver Whitecaps actually got right in this game because, again, I really was hoping that the Whitecaps would stick with Hasel after some of his heroic that he has done in the tournament, and that is exactly what they decided to do. And I'm not going to blame this game on Hasel, the fact that he conceded 3 goals, because that Whitecaps defense was as effective as the attack that the Whitecaps had throughout this entire 90 minutes of the game. Now, there was also a problem with the ESPN Plus English broadcast where, for whatever reason, it just didn't want to start the stream. So that means, unfortunately, I had to rely on a bit of a knockoff stream from TSN, and that I could have watched the Spanish broadcast, but I decided to rely on the knockoff stream instead because I do like the presentation and the broadcast that TSN does with Toronto FC games and also Montreal Impact and Vancouver Whitecaps games. Now in the first half, and the first thing I want to kind of mention is that there was actually a pyro show that was shown outside the stadium, and it was actually from the TFC supporter that was rooting for the team outside the stadium, and I thought that was a really cool moment to see them still rooting on the boys despite the fact that they were not allowed inside the stadium. And I wonder, are we going to see more of these kind of supporter group that, you know, they are going to be supporting their team in the thick and thin, and that even during this troubling time of the pandemic, something tells me they will still be outside the stadium and support the group or support the team, although that obviously depending on if the stadium staff are going to allow to do that. And that it seemed like the BMO Field stadium staff was just kind enough to allow the TFC supporters to kind of root for their team outside of the gate, because it definitely created a little bit more atmosphere when they were outside the stadium compared to what we saw in the MLS's back tournament or what we saw in that Dallas game, where even though there was supporters in that stadium, yeah, it felt like there was just nobody there, and it was the overall atmosphere felt like it was more of a closed door kind of game rather than there's actually fans in the stadium. And as expected, for the first 10 minutes, TFC had all the possession, and pretty much throughout the entire game they had all the possession over the Vancouver Whitecaps. There was also a couple of half chances for Toronto, but they looked very poor in the final third. Like, for the first 25 minutes, you can clearly see that TFC was having a lot of trouble in terms of breaking down this very tight low block that the Whitecaps were putting in. But at times, I thought there were a couple of poor final touch and a couple of poor finishing that was a result of why TFC didn't really break through in the first 20 minutes. But eventually, they did break through in the 27th minute. And what a way to break through. Then Pablo Piatti scored an absolute screamer from 30 yards out to give them a 1-0 lead. And I immediately wrote, early goal of the week candidate. And probably might be the goal of the week now after the rest of the game is being done. Because this was just an incredible hit that he of course hit that one. And there was just no way in the world Thomas Hasel was going to get that, despite the fact that how good that this youngster has been throughout the tournament. And this was also his first ever goal in his career. And what a way to open your account of scoring your first goal in MLS by scoring such an incredible screamer like what we saw during that point. Now, TFC, after that, they looked like they were once again in complete command of this game, while Vancouver, I thought they need to start to commit more on the attack. Like, there was point of this game where TFC was just kind of just passing the ball around the Vancouver box, and I just felt like, you know, if we're going to continue to see that, I'm pretty sure we know who's going to win this game. And I do feel sorry for Whitecaps fan, just seeing their team just kind of stuck in their own half like that, just getting pinned back and just not even trying to play their way out of the back and trying to start on the attacking end. And I think at halftime I checked the stats to see whether or not if Vancouver actually registered a shot, and surprisingly they actually did register a shot in this game, but they also didn't register any shots on goal at all, which again, it's not a big surprise because there was really no point in the first half that the Vancouver Whitecaps show any aspiration of going forward to try to attack and trying to score a goal against TFC in the first half. Now, in the second half, they did finally eventually kind of woke up on the attack and actually had the first chance when Westberg was able to deny Lucas Cavallini, as I also put, that was the first shot on goal for the Vancouver Whitecaps. And really, that was the only chance that Cavallini had in this game, and probably the best chance that the Whitecaps had throughout this entire game. I mean, Cavallini, I'm not really going to blame the fact that he didn't really have a good performance because he basically had zero service throughout this game. And when you are looking to sign a goal scorer like Cavallini, and that, you know, despite the fact that you know he's going to have the potential to score you 10 to 15 goals, if you don't give him service and if you don't feed the ball to him to get a chance for him to get into good scoring position, he's not going to score a lot of goal. Like, you could literally have the best goal scored in the world on this Whitecaps team, and if you don't give him any service, he's not going to score a single goal in this one, which kind of also tells you that clearly this Whitecaps team, there is not only a huge issue in terms of goal scoring, but they just have no creative player going forward on the attack whatsoever in this team. Now, in the 54th minute, TFC would double their lead, and it would be Piatti who scored again in this game from Osorio and Altidore. Now, the question about this goal was, did the ball actually went out on the development of the attack, and that Altidore, as he was dribbling that ball near the byline, it looked like that ball actually went behind the line for a throw-in for the Whitecaps. Now, I look at it a couple of times on the replay, and I feel like it kind of did cross over the line, and that, remember, the ball needs to be crossed over the line to be called out of bounds, and that if the ball is still on the line, then the ball, of course, is not out of bounds. And to me, as I said, I look at it a couple of times on the replay, and it looks like it kind of just went out of bounds, but still take nothing away of this goal, and that I feel like TFC deserved this second goal, whether or not if this is a controversial moment or not. And then even if they didn't score this this goal and this one is going to be called back, I have a feeling they were eventually going to score another one, because after they got that second goal, just 7 minutes later, Osorio hit the post as Vancouver. They looked like they were just mentally checked out. And then in the 64th minute, the ESPN Plus English broadcast finally works, and I actually kind of just got back into this broadcast instead of watching the knockoff stream. Although I'm pretty sure Whitecaps fan couldn't even care less if the ESPN Plus English broadcast was work, because they know that their team probably is not going to get anything out of this game. Although I will kind of give them credit that they started to kind of open up themselves a little bit in the 70-minute mark, and that majority of their chances kind of came during that point, and they started to actually attack the ball and trying to maybe get one back in this game. But ultimately, their chances of getting one back was pretty much all gone, because in the 83rd minute, Nick DeLeon would score from Pozuelo to make it 3-0 against Toronto, and that was pretty much game, set, and match, as TFC absolutely dominate the Whitecaps in this game. Shots in this game, 24 shots compared to 4 that the Whitecaps had, 8 shots on goal compared to just 1 that the Whitecaps had, 10 shots off target compared to 3 that the Whitecaps had, 6 shots that was blocked compared to none that the Whitecaps had, and possession-wise, 75% possession compared to just 25% possession that the Vancouver Whitecaps had in this game. And that, you know, for the Whitecaps, yeah, if this is the product that the Whitecaps are going to have for the rest of the season, this is going to be a very, very long season for the Whitecaps. And if this is the way that they're going to be playing and expect this rebuild that they are in to continue to resume, yeah, that is definitely not going to happen. And that there's got to be some question in terms of being asked in terms of this performance. And I do kind of fear that Marc Dos Santos, his job could start to be in jeopardy, because if this is kind of the performance that he's going to continue to put in and week out, I won't be surprised he would be out of the job, because no team in the world will get a lot of wins if you're just going to defend the whole game and just hope that maybe you get a lucky counterattack to score a goal, because most of the time this is going to be the resort of the tactics that he of course decided to play. And that I do feel sorry for Whitecaps fan, that this could be a long season if this is going to be the product that the Whitecaps are going to endure for the rest of the season. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this game. But now I of course will have to do the preview, and also going to have to quickly erase the board and start to do the preview of the weekend's game. So stay tuned for that. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.